So how many amendments do you have, Mr Roberts?
We've got around about 24, Laura, and I don't know if they've all been agreed to yet, but that's the number we've got.
So what's the crux of them? What do you want to change?
Well, you know, this is a long story in this bill, because when I first saw this bill come up, I had many concerns about it. And then as we started to prod and poke at various aspects of it, it just became very complex. And I've brought along a copy of the Fair Work Act here. There's your problem. That's the problem with industrial relations in this country. It is so complex, and it's made for the Industrial Relations Club. So what we've done is we've explored various options or various clauses in the proposed bill, and we've tried to make changes. We've been guided by basically three aims. One is to protect honest workers, protect small business, and also to restore Australia's productive capacity.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. How are you protecting workers with your amendments?
Well, with the casuals, for example, there are 5 sections, as you probably know, Laura, and the casuals is the first one. We've been trying to prod the definition, and no matter what we do, it seems to end up with other consequences. There's been a lot of thought going into this, into the definition, so we haven't had any changes there yet.
So no changes on casual workers. So what the government has
on the definition.
So what the government has proposed on casual workers, you've made no changes, or?
No, there are 3 aspects of casuals, Laura. One is the definition. We've made no changes there yet. The second one is the conversion. We've reduced the conversion time required from 12 months to 6 months.
Okay.
We believe that will be encouraging people to become, if they want to convert to permanent, that they'll be on that track much more quickly. The other thing to remember is not only is that complex just in itself, but we've got 9% of workers are now unionised, that's all, and we've got overwhelmingly the largest employer of workers in this country is small business. So we've got diverse needs from large mining companies, large multinational retailers, Australian retailers, to small business. We've got many people, we've got about 2.5 million casuals in the country. Many of them want to stay as casuals. And so we've got such a wide diversity of employers and employees and needs and options, and people are seeking more and more flexibility. So that's why it's become so complex. And the basic conclusion is that this is way out of date and restricting our country.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you mentioned small business, Senator. What changes have you made? What amendments have you put forward to protect small business, as you put it?
Well, we're making sure that the risk is not being transferred just to small business. So we've got some amendments that we're working on right now with the government with regard to the conversion, putting the onus back on the employee to seek conversion. We've got, for example, in one corner, we've got McDonald's with 87,000 notices they would have to send out every year if they had to offer casual conversion. We've got employers, small businesses, we're already overwhelmed in paperwork. We don't think it's right that they should have to offer casual conversion. If an employee wants to convert, then they can apply to seek conversion. So we've turned that around there and put the employee, if an employee wants to convert, they can get off their, use their initiative and get up and do it.
Okay, one just final thing. I've seen some breaking news out of the UK. Uber has decided to grant drivers worker status with benefits, including a minimum wage. Now, this is something Labor has been pushing for. This is a world first for the US ride giant. Would you like to see the same here in Australia?
We've got to be very careful what we do. It shows again just how complex life has become and people want different options. In California, they brought in laws that restricted Uber, and I think they had a 3% increase in unemployment in California, and then people moving from California to neighbouring states like Nevada and Texas because of the ramifications. So it's something that I'm not going to comment on until I get the facts, because it is very complex. We have to be very careful that we don't just also rope in, as occurred in California, professionals in many sectors. So we've got to be very careful what we do with Uber.
And just finally, is it the 24 amendments or nothing?
Uh, some of the amendments, it's nothing. If we don't get them, it is nothing.
Okay.
Some of the amendments, Laura, are technical and just enhancements or minor protections. Others are critical.
So it's not take it or leave it.
No, it's not take it or leave it.